So it's a little uncomfortable for me being on a soccer field because I wrestled, so I need the mat. So I wrestled at West Point. Almost.
Yeah, by the way, all state
Yeah.
wrestler in high school, wrestled at West Point as well. West Point's got a great wrestling team.
Yeah.
So you're talking to a fighter.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did play soccer when I was a kid, but we were horrible. I'm from a small town, so. But no, first of all, for you guys to be out here, you know, when your friends are back, you know, back home doing whatever they're doing on a Saturday night around here at your age, but for you guys to be committed to the program, to yourselves, to the coach, so it's awesome. It takes special, you know, people to do that, and to be able to make those sacrifices, if you want to call them that, to commit yourself to a program like this and a sport like this. So it's awesome. But yeah, so I think they wanted me to talk to you about resiliency, right, and what that entails, you know, and what that means to me from my experience. But what is the most important trait of a teammate? Anybody? What makes it the best teammate? You say anything like funny, strong, fast, encouraging. Okay. What else?
Hardworking.
Okay.
Understanding. Someone that sets the standard.
Sets the standard. Yeah.
Someone who's humble.
That's mine. All those are right. That's what. Who's the captains? Coach Silverman. Okay. So you two guys. So, you know, leadership's hard. Okay. Why is it hard? Is because each one of those, everyone has their own perception of what a leader is, right? And their own idea, their own list of qualities. But for me, the number one trait in a teammate is the same trait that a leader has to have, is humility, right? Is if you aren't humble, how can you follow these two guys, right? If they're not humble, how can they, you know, still be the captain when coach takes them out of the game when they had a bad game, or you're having a bad half, or whatever it is, right? But still be that leader, or still be that follower if you're not humble. So I think humility and resilience go hand in hand. So I have found that people that are humble are also resilient. So if you have an ego, those people tend to not deal with adversity as well as someone who's humble and can recognize what they need to do when they're, you know, facing a challenge. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So what Lloyd was talking about, I was a company commander in the 101st Airborne in Afghanistan in 2010 during the surge of Afghanistan, and we're on the Pakistan border. I think 75% of the Medal of Honors came out of the area from Afghanistan, came out of the area we were in, and so it's a real bad place. I was infantry, so you know we weren't handing out soccer balls. Right, we were doing the dirty work.
Hey,
so.
Hold up there, man. You were handing them out. You're smart.
Yeah. So you know we're there for a full year, right? And we're to add to the adversity, we're a month away from coming home, right? But the enemy, right, the other team, they get a vote when they want to do things and when they want to show their face. So our number one bad guy in our area, we got intelligence and we knew he was in our area and he was operating, and so we did a huge mission and went after him. And you know we're in the 5,000 feet elevation in the mountains of Afghanistan, and you know we land, and my lead platoon walked into an ambush and immediately injured three of our guys. At that point, they weren't killed, so we had to fight through that, get them out of there. We got them out of there, and then so what do I do? Within the first 30 minutes of a mission, we hit that adversity, right? So the first 3 minutes of the game, your best player breaks his leg. It's out. You know, what are you going to do? Right? I could, as a leader, as a team member, we could have sat on our hands, just bunkered down and waited for, you know, someone to tell us what to do, right? Or we can have some resiliency through all the training that we did. Remember that, have some humility. The plan, it was my plan, right? I didn't make excuses or quit or blame somebody else, right? It's like, okay, this happened. What are we going to do to accomplish our mission still? What are we going to do to win the game? All right, so I make a new plan. All right, so who's I'm not going to ask that question. Your best player gets hurt, right? Coach has got to draw up a new plan probably. Or go at the game a little bit different way. You guys got to, you know, come together and do that a different way. There are all these parallels through sports. That's why athletics and playing a sport, you guys are setting yourself up for your life for success. And in business, going on to play pro, whatever it is, or in business. That's why Lloyd's so successful in what he does. All right, so back to the mission. So we reconsolidate, we come up with a new plan. I'm also humble enough to ask my junior officers, my lieutenants, what they think. What do they think? You know, these are lieutenants, I'm a captain. You know, I could easily just, hey, I'm the captain, here's what we're gonna do, go do it, right? And they would do it. But I'm humble enough to get their input, come up with a new plan. So we come up with a new plan. A couple hours later, walk into another ambush. Lose immediately, one guy was immediately killed, and then 2 others injured. Before that ambush, I got a call on the radio, said one of the guys that was wounded in the first ambush, Sergeant Brian Burgess, had died at the hospital. He was our best player, hands down, the best player. All right, so that's not supposed to happen, but it did. All right, so we again could have quit, could have, you know, tapped out or whatever it is. And I'm sure my boss, if I called my boss on the radio and said, hey, we're done, he would have got us out there, figured out a way to replace us or something like that. Right? But he knew that we were resilient enough to deal with that adversity. Just like Coach is going to know that you guys are resilient enough to deal with anything you guys face. Not just because, right? Because you've trained for it, right? You've come together, you went through today, right? So, you know, you have to understand that in order to come together and as a team and face whatever you guys are going to face this year, you have to be humble, right? And know that you have what it takes to knock down anything that pops up in your way. All right, so it was a little bit of a heavy story, but the parallels in life, or the obstacles and the challenges that you face in life, are so similar to what you face in athletics and sports, that it's only going to help you succeed. So it's awesome to talk to you guys. I really appreciate it. And that hit what you want to hit. So questions?
Anybody have any questions about? I know you guys were a little young when 9/11, which you probably studied about, right, in school. You were young when that